Thursday, we usually try and get all the hosts that is available. Right now, we'll start off with someone who we've been very happy to have on for Hampton Leftist. She also had been producing some really good and interesting content. Sabrina Sabs, welcome. How you doing?
Hey guys.
We also have my friend JB Font in the house, host of the JB Font Show.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
I know we are missing some faces, and I got my phone right here. I'm about to text them. Like, where you guys at? But for now,
Roman's on his way. He'll be here shortly.
is there echo? I need to put my earphones on. But it's cool. We're just getting started. I
No,
forgot.
there's no echo.
Okay, let me know. If you're in the chat, say hi. I always like to engage because I'm hosting today. This is my show, and you guys know I got some. I always like to cover news stories, but I also like to hear from you guys as well. Because obviously we can't catch everything. So leave some comments, some questions, and we can try to address it. Um, the thing that I want to focus on right now, because what we are trying to do at Fred Hampton Leftist,
Mhm.
our primary objective is reframing the issue. That's why I have a Twitter. That's why I have a YouTube page. Found you. There we go. We got Mark in the house. How you doing, buddy? If you're watching, leave a comment. I like to engage. I'm hosting today, so we engage in the comments today. But what I like to do, I like to reframe the issues because when I follow politics, and this is something before I got a platform, before I joined Twitter, it's just something I was like scream into the void about. It'll be something I'll just be frustrated about. Is the constant framing of the issue, and this is something I've been discussing a lot. Where I'm talking about the last election, and I'm like, it was the dumbest election of my lifetime. The narratives that were coming from the progressives, from the liberals, from the right wingers, from the corporate establishment, it didn't really matter. It was kind of frustrating me. So what we want to do, we want to reframe these issues and want people to understand where the black leftists are coming from. I need to tell people not to call me while I'm live. It's cool. I'm muted that. People ain't calling me while I'm live. Malik is in the house. But let's reframe these issues, right? Because we got a lot of things we're gonna talk about. But what's in the news right now? There is a meltdown over Ilhan Omar. And by the way, let me know how I'm sound, guys. I did not set my audio up. But Ilhan Omar, people are melting down because she had a very mild criticism of the U.S. empire and of the state of Israel.
Mhm.
And I want to get Sabrina and JB's thoughts here very soon. I'll start with JB because I can go on there all day on this, but I'm a host. I'm gonna let you guys talk.
Mhm.
But Ilhan would be nice. Apartheid states are not democracies. Period. Amen. End of story. Thank you. So JB, before I go off, what's your thoughts on the comments? I'm gonna pull up the actual quotes here very soon. But in a nutshell, she was saying that, and then she still was both sides of the issue, which is how I wouldn't frame it, because like when you have Hamas, they are literally responding to a legal land grab of their people. What would you expect would happen if we had Russia like invade Washington D.C.? Like,
Yeah.
bro, like imagine. Can you imagine? That's how I view the Palestinian response. So I am further to the left than anyone else that we have in Representative Congress, right?
Mhm.
So, but I'm not going to attack Ilhan and Bernie because we got way more bigger targets, but they're still progressive Zionists at the end of the day. But what are your thoughts on the response? Do you think it's fair, the response that Ilhan Omar is getting? What's your thoughts, JB?
No, I don't think it's fair to the response that she's getting. But look, it's the United States. They're super imperialist and they're very Zionistic. In fact, and anybody can come after me if they want. I think Ilhan Omar needs to double down on that comment. She needs to also leave the Democratic Party. In fact, I think that the venom that comes from the Democrats is a good thing because this will show Ilhan that they are actually her enemies and they're an enemy that uh, they've been enemies of her ever since she got elected. And she needs to realize that she does not need to be in that party because they're all about the corporatism and the Zionism, and that's what they're all about. So, truth be told, Ilhan Omar, she needs to double down and she needs to leave the Democratic Party because, she's now seeing, I hope she sees the light, because she sees that the Democrats and the Republicans are both the same thing. So, I hope she doesn't, I hope she doesn't walk it back because what she said was the truth and the fact she needs to say it more intensely.
Mm. No, I agree with what JB said, and I also wonder too. Ilhan Omar she's an easy target. She's you know black, African. She is Muslim, and I have to ask myself, what if it wasn't Ilhan Omar who made that statement? What if it was, I don't know, Elizabeth Warren? Does she get the same type of scrutiny from the Democrats? So I always like to ask those questions because I've noticed since the moment that she's been elected, she's just received a lot of unfair treatment and from Democrats. You expect it from the right. You don't expect it from your own party.
And this is the point I've been making people trying to open. We got Roman House. Come, there he is.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get Roman here very soon. Like I said, we say Rome just come in when he wants. Rome does whatever the hell he wants. It's cool though. We love him for it. How you doing, Rome?
Man, I don't know me, man. I'm being busy as hell.
It's all good, bro. You hustling, man. You doing stuff for the community.
Trying my best, man. That's all I can do.
So when it comes to the response against Ilhan Omar, anyone who followed my tweets, anyone who followed my show, I criticize all politicians, and I find it very funny when people enjoy my content and people with friends of mine and people follow me until I target their favorite politicians. Until I started going at the LC. They loved me when I was the black man tap dancer for the Bernie Sanders campaign.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as I started criticizing their favorite politicians, they didn't like me. Yep. But my thing is, if you're gonna criticize Bernie Sanders, LC, and the squad, you better criticize them from the left. You better criticize them from the left, and that's where I'm intellectually honest. Yes. So when I see the people going after Ilhan Omar for speaking the truth, the very light truth, and you don't want to ask Rome how he feels about America. You don't want to do that. Because Ilhan was just like, I think America need to reflect on the crimes against humanity they are responsible. Nah, they are the largest sponsor of terrorism in the world, period. And by the way, people asked, there was an international poll that was done, and people in different countries and different continents across the world said the United States is the biggest obstacle towards world peace. That's not me saying that. That's not Ilhan Omar saying that. That's everyone. They was asking about Iran. They was included. North Korea was included. Russia was included in that poll. China was included in that poll. And they would still chose America. And you guys are in your little patriotic bubble who get upset when Ilhan say something that's very nice at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it was very nice, very calm, very presidential in the way she presented information. Because if you ask me, the United States is the biggest sponsor of terrorism in the world. They're the biggest sponsor of the human rights. Right, Rome? I can't even ask him.
Oh, yeah. That reminded me, when I came in, I heard you saying that they don't like you because you don't sing their song anymore. But that was just like I had explained to that black conservative. And I'm going to put quotations around that because I feel like all these niggas are just capitalists with something to sell. But yeah, these motherfuckers gonna come to her like they had tried to come to her rescue.
Yeah,
trying to say, hey, she's proud to be an American and blah blah. Don't talk to her like that. And oh yeah, but once you say something bad about Trump, like oh yeah, I like Trump, but I don't like that he did this, that, and that. Watch how fast they switch on you. Just like how they switched on you, me, and every last person here on this fucking panel when we start moving to the left of them. And that's one thing. Once you start moving to the left of people, they're gonna start calling you tankies and revolutionaries and whatever the fuck. Especially if you black. But all that means is, hey, we're scared of black people actually thinking for themselves, actually moving for themselves. As long as you singing my song, I have no problem with it. I have no problem with you singing my song, but you singing the Black Panther song, you singing Fred Hampton song, you have to go. We have to shut you up. We have to cancel you. We have to find something in your background in order to shut this person up because we cannot let them grow. Even if they don't know that they are doing the government's dirty work, they are still doing it. They are still doing it, and we call it out. They say, "How am I doing the government's dirty work?" You don't want us to work. Lefties don't want us to work with conservatives. They don't want us to work with boogaloos. They say that you work with Proud Boys. I saw that. But even if they don't want us to work across the aisle, they don't want us to work across the aisle from the left or the right. So where are you going to be in the long run? Where are you going to end up at? Yeah, in an echo chamber. And this is the government's dirty work that they're doing.
And you said they smear us as tankies, and for a damn fact, there's an echo. For a damn fact, they will smear. Let me get my headphones. They will smear Fred Hampton as a tanky if he was alive today.
Oh yeah,
because you guys understand that Black Panthers was they stood in solidarity with these countries that a lot of the white leftists always attack. Like you got the white lefties that attack North Korea. Why the fuck are you attacking North Korea when our country is killing black people behind the badge? Mm-hmm. Like we are the Casero state. We've jailed 25% of the world's prison population. You talking about North Korea?
Or China at that. China as a whole, like Americans got some hate boner towards China, but
you said hate boner.
The thing is, the average American know nothing about China.
That's
they
true.
know nothing about America in their own history. Mm-hmm. But they speak on China like, oh, well, China is killing all these religious folks and they're doing this and that in Africa. Can you clean your backyard first? Can you clean your own backyard before you speak on your house?
Hey, Rome, let me put this out, bring this out too. Fellow Fred Hampton leftist RJ actually had Danny Haifang on, and one of the comments he said is that Americans don't even know what Chinese people think about China. They don't even bother to ask. So how are you going to sit there and go, oh, well, this is what China does and this is what they do, and you don't even ask somebody who's actually from there, who actually is, and not some rich person from China. Ask somebody who's actually, working class or poor in China about what really goes on in China and how they feel. Right. I mean, because they're not going to bring out that Chinese millennials actually have a 90% home ownership rate compared to us millennials who basically have Dickie McGee's acts. So, like, what the fuck?
That's facts, though. That's facts. Yeah, these motherfuckers don't know. They don't know history. They don't even know their own people's culture. Their own people culture. And I say this because some white people do have different cultures. Some of y'all are Vikings. Some of y'all are this and that. But you don't even know this. You don't even know your own history. But then you want to speak on the next country that we treat humans way worse than them. Their military budget ain't even touching ours. Nowhere close. Military bases all across the world marked USA on that bitch. Not China, not Russia. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody had tried to tell me, hey, communists control everything. You want to be a communist, but they control it. Communists control everything. Since when? The farthest I know is communists controlling everything is what's inside of their country, not having 800 military bases outside of your borders. That's control. That's real control. That's threatening. That's nuclear power control. That's real control. When you have a bunch of commies who want rich people to pay their fair share, and even if I want to tax you at 90%, oh well, you shouldn't be that rich. Especially when we have people dying and starving to death today. So hell yeah, I want to tax you at 90%. Hell yeah, I want to take away these homes and make them public. Hell yeah, I want to nationalize the airlines and every other thing that we done bailed out since 1980 something. Because it's ours and we didn't pay for it. We didn't been paid into our communism.
Go ahead.
And I
So go ahead,
want to jump
Sabrina.
in here for a second. A lot of my students are from China. And every year I ask them, like, do you want to get a job in the US? Most of them say, no, I want to go back home and work. And I'm like, oh, why is that? Because back home, I'm guaranteed a job.
Mm.
Here in the US, I'm not. And so I thought about that. What would it be like in the US if we were guaranteed a job? We don't even have that here.
And not even just guaranteed a job, a livable wage.
Hmm.
That's
And
the
there's
whole thing.
nothing
You can guarantee what you want.
there's nothing that was unreasonable said here because I say now, I mean, I'm critical of Bernie, but he still was a compromise because Bernie Sanders' wealth tax is a compromise. That is the moderate position.
Yep.
Did you guys realize that Bernie Sanders' wealth tax still leaves in place billionaires?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be as far left as we can go. If I had to write a wealth tax, billionaires wouldn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they wouldn't exist because the arguments against that is fraudulent. Oh, if you tax wealthy people, they will leave America.
Yeah. Just one
Bro,
second.
California is one of the biggest markets in the planet. New
Just
York
just
is one of the biggest markets in the world, period. They are not going to abandon a giant market.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just one second, Nick. I just want to thank Jonathan Schilberg. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. He gave us awards, and we want to thank him for that. Thank you for supporting this channel here.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure if you guys are enjoying this show, the best way to support us right now is for Hampton Leftist Patreon or support A1's individual show. Rome does a tour for the poor. So people ask me like, where I can donate? Like donate to Rome, donate to JB's GoFundMe. Like these are ways you can support us.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, thank you. That's the most important.
And that fucking Patreon, because we got more people coming in. I don't know if their cameras and microphones is anything like Nick's and JB's. Holy fucking shit. We're gonna need some money.
I mean, I'm not. Yeah, he's telling the truth.
So I want you, and this goes into the next topic I want to talk about. Because if you want to think I'm unreasonable for saying that we should get rid of billionaires, if you think Rome is unreasonable for saying that we should have a wealth tax of 90%, you realize they've been stealing wealth from us. They stole $1 trillion of wealth from the working class ever since the 70s. That was done in a recent study. You guys realize they got billions and billions of dollars richer in the pandemic when the working class has lost tons of money. And you guys realize there's a ton of houses that's being bought by a bunch of Wall Street goons right now. And they're gonna sell the shit. They're gonna jack up housing prices, and then we're not even done. Like people think that we about to be everyone got vaccines. The economy gonna open up. Everything like they're saying this on CNN. They're saying this on MSNBC. Like I told you guys, I was watching that the other day, and now my brain is about to melt. I'm like, bro, people are actually watching this, and they're like, Joe Biden's doing a good job. The economy about to pick up. I'm like, bro, things are gonna get horrifically worse. And they did a heist. Floyd Mayweather fought Jake Paul. And he was talking about it in a press conference. He's like, man, I'll be happy when I commit my heist. He brought this fight. There was a massive heist. I heisted millions of dollars with no effort. There Floyd Mayweather is saying. You know who else is saying that? The billionaire donors who donated to Joe Biden's campaign. Bro, all Joe Biden 100 billionaire donors is like, bro, we pulled a giant heist because all we did was donate a few $100,000 to Joe Biden and we got millions and millions and billions of dollars in return because of his policy. Because now he's helping them illegally cut unemployment benefits of workers so they will have less leverage to demand more wages. Me and CJ covered this on his show yesterday. We had a lot of jobs, and there's like a soft general strike, and Crystal Ball was talking about this on her show as well. The soft general strike where people are like, okay, we are not working for these jobs unless they pay living wages. So people were sitting out. If you had a pro-worker president, that pro-worker president would extend the unemployment benefits. They would implement a UBI, give them health care, because another reason why they will never give you Medicare for all, because if you had health care, that just give you another leverage over the employer, because employers use health care as a bargaining chip against you. So you'd be less likely to leave your job if you had 2 kids. We need to provide them health care. Yep. I know for a fact, I used to sell cars, and people hate that damn job. That job sucks. But I know people that selling cars because we had healthcare that we got through selling cars, and they had kids and they can't afford to leave that job. So there's a lot of people that want to protest. They want to be part of the Jones strike, but they can't because they don't have healthcare, and that is by design, guys. That by design. That's why they will never give you Medicare for all. That's why they can't even give you a shitty ass public option. Who
Yep.
wants to take over? I'll give Sabrina.
I was
got
gonna
a lot
say,
to say.
yeah, I was going to say I did some research in reference to the job market recently because I was trying to help my friend find a job. She's been looking for a job for like over a year. And I noticed that some of the same positions that were posted like 2 years ago, companies are now requiring like higher qualifications. So whereas 2 years ago, it may be you only needed a bachelor's degree, for those same positions, they're now asking for more education. They're asking for more years of experience. A position that asked for like 3 years is now asking for 5 to 7 years experience. It's the same job. So they're making it harder for people to get those jobs now who would have been able to easily get them 2 years ago. So it's harder for people to get a job, to get an interview, number one, to get a job. And I also noticed that the salary has decreased for those same positions, whereas 2 years ago, it was higher. And I think that's something that CNN, they're not talking about that. They're just saying, like, yeah, everything's about to be great. The economy's going to fully reopen. But they're not telling you how a lot of these jobs have changed. They're asking for more experience and they still want to pay you less than what they would have paid you 2 years ago. So people are still going to continue to struggle, even when the economy reopens.
Oh yeah, but it don't matter to them because they got their blue devil in, so everything is back to normal. And yeah, they can go back to pushing wars on people and all that bullshit. Whatever the fuck. I haven't watched CNN in years, man. I don't know. The last thing I saw CNN do was push for war and push for oil. They was against Standing Rock. They was against Occupy Wall Street. Like, how can, even if you were a Democrat, how can you fucking sit here and watch that? How can you sit here and really not understand what they are telling you? Like, you just watch it just to watch it, and because it's not Fox News.
Mm-hmm.
Are you truly understanding what they are pushing to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, some people, that's why when they get on Twitter or they get up in the real world and they hear people like us or people that's to the right of them, they can't believe it. They like, hold on, the TV man told me this. The TV told me everybody liked Biden. The TV man told me that everything was okay, but no, everything isn't okay. These jobs still are shit, and we still should strike. And this is why it's important for us to keep on building lefty movements that's going to take care of one another. Because if we don't got health, if we don't have health care, we have to build some type of organization that's going to help us pay each other bills, or at least pay them deductibles for people to get care and shit like that. That way we're not waiting on the government. We're not waiting on your state or your worker for anything. Just call a fucking commie and you got it. And but that's why it's important, because fuck all this shit. Fuck this government. Fuck everybody that's in charge, all 300, 500 of them. It's more than enough of us to take care of one another, man. And don't listen to these motherfuckers who try to keep you in these boxes of even if you are a nationalist, dude, you gotta outsource fucking shit. You gotta, what do you get from America? Soils. We get nothing. You don't get your diamonds, your gold, your clothes, nothing. You call yourself a nationalist, but you still need to outsource and get the shit. So we have to talk to people in order to get this shit done.
It's a giant con that they play. They sell the idea that Joe Biden. Who am I echoing from? Is the echo still there?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay, so they sell the idea that Joe Biden was the working class Joe Biden, and like it's supposed to be working class Joe, Uncle Joe. He's supposed to be the man of the working class. Donald Trump sold himself as, oh, I'm supposed to be the man of the working class. I'm supposed to be the nationalist. I'm supposed to be the populist in Rome. I'm glad you brought that up. Because like while Trump was saying that in his tax bill, he was incentivizing outsourcing. And there was like no there in order to actually protect American workers and American products. So I want you guys to know that, like, stop listening to what politicians say. And you guys embarrass me when people say, "Yo, you see their platform, you see what they're gonna advertise." I'm like, you guys are, oh Jesus Christ. So these same people was pushing Joe Biden, even though Joe Biden had 100 billionaire donors, and you guys think they didn't get a return on their investment? You guys really think that they lifted Biden up and helped him win like they did because they were playing anti-Medicare for all. You guys remember that ads during the debates when they would have debates between Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders, and they were debating the concept of healthcare. And then you had Big Pharma advertising against Medicare for all in the middle of the debate. They was they will have a CNN broadcast where they'll say they are breaking down the race in a non-objective way, and then you have ads that is like attacking all the progressive ideas. And Bernie Sanders, like, what kind of democracy? This is a sham of a democracy. So they delivered the victory for Joe Biden. And trust me, Joe Biden, not forget them, because I want to present this. And while I'm hosting, I want to share this with you guys. I'm going to get A1's individual thoughts. Because you guys think, when I said that Joe Biden's waging a class war, I am not being hyperbolic. A great article by Matt Brunick, hopefully I'm saying that right. Biden is planning to illegally cut unemployment benefits. In the last month, governors of at least 19 states announced they will stop administering the special unemployment benefits because they are doing that, guys, because they're working for their donors, because they need to strip workers from their only leverage they have in order to increase their wages. So you have all these politicians are siding with big business, right? So this is what Biden said. He said when Biden passed the American Recovery Act in March, we was told that the pandemic unemployment benefits will remain available until September 6th while the labor market recovered. Now, just 2 months later, like once again, people that believe Joe Biden are children, naive children. Those benefits are being eliminated for millions of workers across the country with the blessing of the Biden administration. The lesser of two evils, guys.
Mm.
And now they explain the benefits here in this part. But this is the important point that you guys need to understand. People are like, oh, what can Biden do? Joe Manchin, Kristen Sinema, what can we do? Stop using them as excuses, guys. The Biden administration could and should ensure the law enacting these unemployment benefits is enforced as written. As Nell points out, that could take the form of forbidding states from cutting off PUA benefits. But instead, we learned last Friday that the Biden administration plans to do none of this. None of this. And people were apologizing for Joe Biden. People were saying he's doing better than expected. And people wonder why I said I wasn't going to vote for this guy. And this brings back what I was saying earlier. I'm going to start with JB, and then we go to Sabrina. I'm going to give you guys thought why I just broke down here. Mm-hmm. You had Joe Biden, his campaign was funded by 100 billionaire donors. You have literally weapon contractors. You have Wall Street. It was a coordinated effort for them to carry Biden across the finish line against Bernie Sanders. You guys think they did that out of the kindness of their hearts? You guys think Lincoln Project and a ton of George Bush right-wing neocon Republicans allied with Joe Biden for no reason? Like they were like, oh, we really care about stopping Trump. You guys really thought that people think that. What's your thoughts on this class war that Joe Biden's waging, JB? And then we do Sabrina after that.
They got their boy. That's what they got. That's who they wanted. And it's just like the tweet that I put out, I think it was yesterday or the day before. I said, if you are a Trump supporter or a MAGA, and if you're disappointed in Biden, it was all about the personality. It was never about the policy, because they're doing the same damn thing. Like, look, let me be real. If I were a Trump supporter or MAGA, I'd be thrilled with Biden right now. I'd be so happy, because Biden, number one, Biden is not doing anything that he really said he was going to do. Okay, he repealed a couple of executive orders, but he's doubling down on everything that Trump wanted. Number one. Number two, he's even doing things that the right would love on the culture war. Because Biden is allowing private schools to discriminate against people who are LGBTQ. I'm sorry. Was that the person that you thought was better than Trump? But yet he's doing the same thing that Trump is doing. Make that make sense, motherfucker. Let me tell you something, okay? Because Joe Biden doing all this same shit, and you're still clapping for him and Kamala Harris, the black white supremacists. You're still clapping for them. Yo, you are they're not even getting played anymore. You already know you're being played. You're just you're you're complicit. That's basically what you are. If you don't want to be complicit anymore, then you need to stop supporting this shit. And guess what? It's 2021. In 3 years, just 3 years, we're gonna be back in the same thing, the same cycle, lesser of two evils. And then guess what? Everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my God, we gotta protect ourselves from Josh Hawley, or we gotta protect ourselves from oh, what's that pencil neck's name? Um, shit, whatever. Um,
Tom Cotton,
Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson, Stephen
Yeah,
Miller.
Welcome.
yeah. We Stephen Miller with the five head. We got to protect ourselves from him. And then guess what? We're gonna elect another right winger with a D in front of his name. And then guess what? That everybody's gonna be saying the same shit again. But guess what? All of us, especially us four, one, two, three, four, every single one of us, we're gonna be sitting there like this. Are you tired of being fucked over? Are you tired? Get your ass out in the streets and let's do this. But the thing is that are you guys tired of it? That's the question. Are you tired enough? And I've told this, and I tell this especially to women. When you're tired enough, when you've had enough, that's when you make a move. That's when you do the shit you need to do. But here's the thing, you're not tired enough. You haven't been screwed over enough. The thing is that when are you going to change it? Because we're sick and tired. The uncomfortable are the only people that have a sense of urgency. So if you want to make comfortable people have a sense of urgency, you have to make them uncomfortable. That's all.
So there's a good comment by Carrie. Name one single thing Biden has done for poor people over the course of his career, not counting those temporary child tax credits. That's not going to lift anyone out of poverty. And people who keep repeating that is driving me crazy because we broke down on this show. We was looking at the liberal policy guidelines. So I'm like, even if you give like they're saying people might get like $4,000, $5,000 more. But you understand the poverty guidelines was saying that let's say a single mother of two kids, she's out of poverty. They are out of poverty, and she makes over $21,000 a year. How is that realistic? And where in this country is that realistic? So I want you guys to understand, without me even having to debunk the baseline, I can tell you the framing is already wrong. That somehow that someone being lifted out of the capitalist definition of poverty is supposed to be a victory. A capitalist, as long as you got a roof over your head and you're not at the point of starvation, they're like, yeah, he good. So that's a good comment. Thank you, Carrie. I want to pass it to Sabrina. I was covering Biden's class war, and this is a part of the policies that the Democratic Party implement that hurts. Like, once again, who do you think is the benefits of unemployment benefits the most? People of color, disenfranchised community. It's a class war. It's a race war as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, what's your thoughts on it, Sabrina?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Joe Biden is supporting corporations like he always has done. I mean, I didn't think he was going to change anything that was going to benefit people of lower class. And I didn't think Kamala was going to do anything either. So what's going to happen is once this takes place, you're going to see more people become evicted. You're going to see more people like out on the streets. So they're not really there to help the working class people, which is what he ran on. I'm working class Joe from Scranton, Pennsylvania. So that is problematic. And this is why I say, and Jink disagreed with this, but this is why I say that this is why someone like Trump could win again, because the Democrats are showing that they're not that much better either. Kamala Harris, when she was running for president during a town hall, she said that Trump was wrong for telling like migrants not to come here. She said that they should be able to come here and seek asylum. Now she's saying, don't come here. She's no different. And I want people to really pay attention to that. Joe Biden isn't doing anything that's really helping working class people. He's not doing anything that's really helping black people. He doesn't even want to do, like I said, the $15 minimum wage. He said he was going to cancel student loan debt for people that went to HBCUs. That's gone. He didn't even want to do the $10,000. That's gone. He couldn't even do the stimulus right. All those people that came out and voted in Georgia because he said he was going to give them the $2,000 checks. He couldn't even fulfill that. And this is why, come midterms, Republicans can take back the House, they can take back the Senate, and come the next presidential election, someone like Trump could win again. And then once again, you'll have liberals saying that all those people who voted for that person are racist, not without really looking at the real problem as to why we keep doing this back and forth. So at the end of the day, when you look at both parties, neither of them really care about the people. They care about corporations. And this is why I tell people we have to stop relying on politicians.
That was well said, Sabrina. Once again, amazing breakdown, because you accurately point out how this is how they use the culture war to divide us, where they say anyone who supported Donald Trump, anyone who supported the Republican Party, anyone who do not support Democrats are racist. That can be easily disproven by a very simple fact. Very simple fact. You guys know that the people who vote for Barack Obama 2 times vote for Donald Trump. So are you gonna say that they turn racist? Is that your reason for that? I'm not saying these people are not racist, but if you're saying that the reason why they're not voting for your dog shit party is because they're racist, that is ridiculous. And this is another great comment, and I'm gonna get Rome. I'm gonna get his take on this class war that Biden is raging. But hope I'm saying this right. Nam De Guerrera, it said people don't understand. No one here took our jobs. And I think he's referring to immigrants here. No one took our jobs. The wealthy investor class took trickle-down profits, and they took our jobs overseas. They implemented a system that steals our wealth. This is a great comment, because I want people to understand this is what it's about. And I talk to right-wingers, I talk to conservatives, and I break down that very simple. Like, bro, why are you hating the Latino immigrant who's just trying to improve the quality of his family's life? Why are you hating on the black family in the hood who just want his family to have education? We just want the cops to stop shooting at us. Why are you mad at us? Like, bro, you should be mad at Wall Street. And yeah, you're next, bro. You're next. And I want to get your take on that. That's why I love reading my comments, because we got a great community here. Because I love that comment, because that's exactly what I'm trying to tell conservatives. It's not the Latino, it's not the Muslim, it's not us. It's the wealthy ruling class that have been waging class war for decades. Rome, what's your thoughts?
Kill me. No, I'm playing. No, I think, yeah, it's time for us to get up out of it. Like, why are we sitting here taking this shit? For what generation now? 4th generation? Sitting here taking the same shit. Hey, look, like I said yesterday, I don't know about y'all, man, but I ain't about to sit here and be talking about these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Just because you all hate them. It's time to put in the work that they're not doing. If your government isn't working for you, yes, it's been a class war. We know this. The thing is, we know this. We know how to combat, but motherfuckers won't put their first foot first. That's all it's really gonna take, is to show that you're gonna push back. And they will back down. Listen to me. Let's say if we all get together, all of us poor people, no matter the color, no matter the neighborhood, we all came together and we all stood up against this government. Are you telling me that they are going to kill all of us? Like, let's say all 300, how many poor people is it on this bitch? Probably like 100 million of us.
None of them. Like, they said that over 50% of workers make less than $30,000 a year. Capitalism has failed. Yeah. That's not a living wage. Yeah. But go ahead, Ron. That's to answer your question.
Let's say if all of us came together, you think they are really going to stop us? You think? Look, we pay these taxes. We pay them, man. We pay their bribes, all this shit, our money. Without us living and working, they gets nothing. So hey, we gotta time. It's time to show your fucking hand. You have a good fucking hand. You playing poker, you got a good face, but you're not showing. You're not dropping. Why?
Mm-hmm.
You scared? You scared of what they might do? Come on, man. Like, we know there's been a class war. We can break down every example from here to fucking Africa to Australia, and it won't even matter. It won't even matter because it's the American iron fist is so fucking heavy. It's hurting everyone just about everywhere. And if we don't stop the American government ourselves, Colombia will never be free. Cuba will never be free. Do you understand me? These countries in Africa will never be free. New Mexico, South America. Do y'all understand me? So it's going to take us to stop the fucking suffering in other countries. All right. That's all I got to say. Really.
Yeah.
I
So
don't really want to keep pushing back. I mean, talking about this nigga. Yes. We can talk about, hey, yeah, Biden's not doing this. He's not doing that. Trump didn't do this. Obama didn't do that. But what the fuck are you going to do about it? What the fuck you going to do about it?
yeah,
Like, honestly, you going to sit here and bitch about it for 4 years? Or you going to get up and do their fucking job and show them? Like, yes, it can be scary and you might die. But at least you ain't living till you 80 years old with a fucking mansion. Now you got somebody you look down. Come on, man. Come on. No. I would rather die at 20-something years old standing up for everyone than live till I'm 80 and just live. And looking at all this suffering my people is going through, people that look like me, people that don't look like me. It doesn't even matter. We all human. And you all deserve to have a life. But if we don't fight for each other, it's never going to change, man. I mean actually fight. I don't mean protesting. All that shit. We didn't did. Everything has been repeated from the 70s. Can't y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
They want you to do this. Even Barack Obama kept on saying, yeah, keep on striking and protesting because nothing's going to get done.
Mm-hmm.
You got to really, really show your motherfucking hand.
Yeah.
And when it's time to stand up, y'all going to know if you're going to be there or not. Like all you motherfuckers trying to ride the fence, talking about you social Dems and you this and that, you're going to know. You're going to see what side you're on. This is why I move farther to the left. Every time you say some dumb shit like that, I move farther to the left so I know not to be around your ass when shit go down. Because whose side you going to be on when a revolution comes? And I really mean that.
Yeah. You know, and one of the things that I remember, am I echoing?
I hear a little bit of echo.
Okay. But yeah, so I'm tired of, especially in the black community, our old heads holding up signs going, "We shall overcome." Like, okay, when are we actually going to overcome? When is it?
Never.
Because every single time we're singing, "We shall overcome," the wealthy billionaires are up there in their ivory towers going, "Look at the poors, they're singing." That's what they're doing. Oh, let's paint a Black Lives Matter on the road for them. That'll make them happy. Oh, you know what? They actually want a living wage. Oh, isn't that cute? Let's move it from 8,000 an hour. Let's move it to 10. Okay, we'll just give them just a little bit more. Let's give them a little bit more crumbs. And every single time we think that we can just overcome something, because they always talk a good game. And so, starting next year, late next year, yeah, about late next year, you're going to start hearing a lot more Medicare for all, a lot more Green New Deal, a lot more. Who knows what the next one is going to be? It might be reparations. You never know. But they're going to say all the key words, and then I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. A good chunk of you are going to fall for it. Yeah, a good chunk of you are going to fall for it, and then you guys are going to be disappointed again. And we've been through this road too many times. You know, uh, like for like what Rome said. Thing is if you're complaining and not doing anything about it, then do you really want change to happen? You know, um,
Mhm.
I
I'm
just
gonna cut you off again because no, a lot of these motherfuckers don't. I'm gonna tell you the truth about them because a lot of these motherfuckers got generational wealth. A lot of these people that's talking for us have generational wealth. Their families have big houses and they have things to look forward to. So they don't like a nigga like me talking about a revolution or taxing they motherfucking ass because they know when shit go down for real. If we was to actually get communists to run the government in America, that they are next. And I'm not saying on a wall. I'm not threatening your life, but you're gonna have to pay. And just because, okay, the majority of people, if the majority, if black people lives get better in America, that doesn't mean everybody lives are gonna get better. Yes, it's gonna be better for people because we don't have to rob your asses no more. We don't have to scam y'all asses no more. You understand me? Yes,
yeah.
it's gonna be better as far as crime and shit like that. But nigga, we're gonna have our own jobs. We're gonna have our own schools. We're not gonna have to depend on you and your money, your mother's money, your daddy's job. We're not gonna have to depend on you. So you don't want a revolution. A lot of these social dems, these liberals, these motherfuckers really have generational wealth for real.
Yeah.
On my fucking mama, and they hate it when somebody talk about really changing the government. They say, "Hold on, no, we don't need the fucking. We just need to reform it. We just need to reform this. We just need to reform the police." You know that America was born in the blood of white supremacy. We gave birth to Nazis. We know that the police force is only made to catch black people. We have data right now to show that they only catch 2% of people that commit the motherfucking crimes, like 1% of fucking mass murderers. But you want to reform that when we can see them hurting more people on the internet than we can see them helping people. And just because they fucking play basketball in a hood one day, that doesn't mean hey they're they're changed. They're just like people. They're just like us. They are robots programmed by the state in order to keep you in line. They protect the state.
And I
So
want to add
no, a
in.
lot of these motherfuckers do not because they're in like they daddies. Their daddies are cops. Their uncles are cops. Keep it real. They don't want prison reform because they've got people that work in the prison system. They don't want us to abolish the police because they see black people as fucking animals.
Go ahead, Sabrina. What are you about to say?
Oh, I want to add on to something that Rome, because Rome just brought up a good point about liberals and social dems. This is important because me and Nico were just talking about this yesterday. Sometimes I wonder if we go back to the civil rights movement, if all of us were living back then, which side would they be on? And the reason why I asked that question is because it's interesting to me that some liberals or social dems, they can travel across the country to go be on someone's show, but if you ask them to come march in the street to protest against police brutality, oh, I can't do that. So sometimes I wonder about that. Like, if we were back during the civil rights
Giant
movement,
point.
which side would they be on? Would they be really out there fighting for civil rights? with us, or would they just sit back because and speak out against it? They'll say that they agree with it, but then they'll also say, but I don't know about that because it's not really popular, because the civil rights movement was not popular.
Mm-mm.
Would they just sit back comfortably at home because for the most part financially they're all set?
Hmm. Hey, Sabrina, just to, and you probably already know this figure too, but for our audience, did you guys know that when Dr. Martin Luther King died, he had a 75% disapproval rating? Just because it's not popular doesn't mean it's not right.
That's why I don't get. That's why I don't mind when people get upset at us, because I'm like, bro, I didn't expect you guys to like black leftists. Like when I burst your bubble about your red blue game, I knew that would upset people. I knew when we launched Fred Hampton Leftist that they would start coming after us. I said it on my show. I remember the week before we launched Fred Hampton Leftist, one of my last live stream I did on my YouTube channel. I was like, yo, when we launched this, the liberals are gonna be mad, but we're not gonna stop. And we're just gonna keep doubling down. But sorry, JB, I just want to add that because that was on the money. I want you to
No,
finish your thought.
no, yeah. And so a lot of the things that we are talking about right now, uh, you're right. Like people like myself, I really don't have the ability to go out like I would like to. Part of the reason is because I'm immunocompromised. I have dialysis 3 days a week, so it's kind of tough for me. But there's a lot of people who they're not immunocompromised, they're not on dialysis, and then they'll talk about the fact that they agree with something, but then when it comes to actually putting their money where their mouth is, they just don't do it. And here's my I'm gonna get myself in trouble. Here's my challenge to all you
We
leftists
always
out
do.
there that are not of the same hue as I am and that are, very famous. I'm talking 200,000 plus subscribers. That's who I'm talking to. Have one of us on. The people you see that are associated with Fred Hampton leftists, you can have Sabrina, you can have Rome, Nick, CJ, myself, RJ, you can have Megan, you can have Jackie, you can have any one of us on, any one of us, and ask us about what we think on your show and do it on the live too, right? And let us have a discussion and let us bring what we black leftists think to the forefront. Because the thing is that a lot of times when we talk about things like defund the police, well, it's just not popular. Who fucking cares if it's popular or not? Gay rights wasn't popular. Yeah, look at my gay ass, right? I got my rights, didn't I? Some of us who are married to somebody of the opposite race, that was considered unpopular. But now you got a whole bunch of light-skinned babies walking around here now, right? Women being able to allow to vote, that was unpopular. Yet Sabrina, she can pass her ballot now. Just because it's unpopular does not make it wrong. Because the thing is that society itself, the system itself is sick. And so therefore, sometimes what we think that is wrong according to the system is actually the right position. So I don't care if 80% of people disagree with defund the police. So what? It's the right position. And the thing is, we will defend that position to the death. And so y'all can, so come on. This is an invitation. Let us come on your show and we'll have a discussion. And the thing is, if we disagree, then we'll just disagree. But here we are, and let's see, let's hash out the logic and let's work out through the fallacies. Because if you're sitting here thinking, oh, well, this is unpopular, so we can't do it. Just because it's popular doesn't mean that we shouldn't do it.
Yep. And people wonder
There's
why I
someone.
bring that. Oh, go ahead, Nick.
No, sorry. I went finish that thought, and I'll take it off after that.
People wonder why I bring that up a lot because that's scary. It's scary to me to have people on the left that have large platforms telling people not to push for an issue that would really help Black communities just because it's not popular. If you're only willing to fight for something when it's popular, then you're not really progressive. And I know Nick and I've talked about this before about that word. That's why a lot of us don't use that word anymore. Because some people who say they're progressive until you ask them to speak up about things that would really help Black people. Then all of a sudden they want to back off, or we can't do it because it's not popular, or we need to put that to the bottom of the list. Other things are more important. We're always pushed to the bottom. And to JB's point, instead of having like white people come on to talk about these issues, bring Black people on to talk about it. I never understood that. I'm like, why are you talking to Nico brought this up the other day. He said, why are they bringing on David Soretta to ask him about stop and frisk? When has David Soretta been stopped and frisked?
Yeah. And don't
Yeah,
bring
that's
on no
a that
rich.
was you
Don't
guys
bring
gotta
on
watch
no
that.
rich. Don't bring on no rich Black people neither, motherfucker. I
Yeah,
hate that shit.
you guys gotta watch that interview between Sabrina and Nico. It was good. Get an interview on her channel. Make sure you support all the Hampton leftists. And there's a lot going on. I was just listening to you guys. Like I said, I invite you guys on because I learned a lot from my comrades. I'm like just nodding along. There's a lot to unpack there. One thing that you guys brought up that I like, because you guys brought up the liberal that prefers the false quiet, the ones that are revolutionary leaders warned us about, and they don't like us, and I knew that was going to happen because I don't want to call those people out because they are some of the biggest barriers to change for the Black community. Period. It's not Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm not saying that she is not bad. Like, she got horrible opinions. She anti-Semitic. She's probably racist. That doesn't surprise me. But so is white liberals in the Democratic Party. Like, why do people just brush aside the racism of white liberals? That drives me crazy. And they like Joe Biden. They still support Joe Biden because I like, you still see these tweets from this day where they're like, "Yeah, I love Joe Biden's America is great. I don't have to pay attention to politics no more. We can go right back to brunch, guys." And there was a big Biden influencer that was like, "Yeah, Joe Biden America is amazing," and they got like fucking 50,000 likes, and she was like, "Yeah, well, now we don't have to worry stress no more." I'm like, bro, kids are still in cages. Black people are still being shot by the cops. Biden is funding multiple genocides. Like, what? And these people are going to sleep. Joe Biden, whether if you want to believe it or not, he has a sky high approval rating. The same people who will be opposed to a president because they're immigration activists under a Republican president. You have Joe Biden that is literally funding ICE more money. Kamala Harris is telling Guatemalans to go home. They're telling Haitians to go home to a oppressive government that we are uplifting, and we are doing that. We are illegally denying people their legal right to asylum because we had to legitimize these evil neoliberal and fascist administrations that we are propping up in South America. Like, the CIA has overthrown leftists in Guatemala decades after decades. And I covered that on the show before, how that was uncovered in the 90s. Like, this is something they admitted in the 90s. And they did it again in the 80s. Ronald Reagan gave the CIA funding so they can overthrow the Guatemala leftist leaders. And they tortured leftists in Guatemala. They tortured people in that country. But you want to tell me that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, the lesser of two evils, when they are still doing that to this day? To this day, he haven't learned. And then in an interview, he said, "Hey, I don't apologize for anything I ever done." People like, Joe Biden is remorseful. He changed. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, he has not apologized for anything he ever done. Still said the crime bill was a good idea. And so my point is, and then I pass back to you guys so I get to the next subject, they love Joe Biden because they gave him that false peace. Because just like Rome said earlier, like so I'm unpacking everything you guys said because you guys took us to church. Because like Rome said, they want us to stay silent. Joe Biden is doing the job they want. That's why they love him. He is a feature, not a bug, to the white liberal establishment. The fact that Joe Biden can put people to sleep, the fact that people are not willing to go on general strike. How many times has hashtag general strike trended under Joe Biden? It trended multiple times under Donald Trump. You had people in the streets. You had the George Floyd protest where people were showing class consciousness for the first time I see in my life. Like I remember in Kansas City, we will talk about how we want to get rid of billionaires at the protest and how we are not getting paid a living wage. Like these are things we were talking about as a group. And then there was Twitter videos, I covered this on my show as well, where there was a lot of class consciousness during the George Floyd protest. Where is that now? Where is it now? I just covered how Joe Biden is slashing unemployment benefits illegally. Where are the people in the streets in response to that? So once again, what Biden is doing is not a bug to the liberal establishment. It's a feature.
Yeah.
Do anyone want to add to that? It'll be an open floor for now. Let me find some comments.
Yeah. Want to give some the shout out to everybody in the comments right now. This is a great discussion. And there's been some, great comments. And some of our friends here on Twitch. Biden is definitely a joke. But Biden is a joke to us who actually want things that people deserve. Really, Biden is a savior to the oppressor class. They love him, so and we can talk all we want about, how, Biden is not doing the things that he said he was going to do, but he was never going to do them in the first place. Shitty public option. He's not even going to do that. He's what else he's not doing? He's not doing the $10,000 that he wanted to do for student loan debt. He is, probably going to do a mass deportation, probably more than Trump does. So really, there is not much of a difference, and I'm tired of all this. Oh, but he's better than Trump. No, he's not. And people need to get over that. Let me see.
I kind of like what you said earlier about I think it was one of y'all, you or Nick, when y'all was saying it was you. If I was a MAGA, I'd be thrilled. Like I was on a show, the Happy Hour.
Oh yeah.
And I was telling them, I was like, shit, if I was a racist white male, I'll vote for Joe Biden. Like, look at his policies, man. Like, who do they really target? The good and the bad. Look at the good and the bad. What is the outcome of these policies? Like, okay, if you're not nowadays, if you're not rich, you might look at Joe Biden a different way because of the Democrats with the NAFTA deal, et cetera, et cetera. Patriot Act that turned off a lot of conservatives. So, you know what I'm saying? If you're not a rich white male or a rich white person, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they doing the same shit. I mean, like, he even keeping Trump tax cuts. Like, I'll be happy as hell. Like, but I would have voted for Biden all around.
They defending Trump in court now. They defending Trump in court, and this is such a great topic. Yeah. Because if you're a MAGA, now I think, like, why are you upset at Joe Biden? Like, you guys should be the biggest Biden supporters there are, because you guys don't like the Iran deal. Joe Biden not getting back into it.
Nope.
You guys wanted the immigrants deported. That's what Joe Biden do. He deported the shit out of immigrants.
And he's finishing the wall.
Yeah, he's finishing the wall. You guys are pro-Israel. You think that Palestinians don't have a right to exist? And Joe Biden, like, yeah, I agree with you. I'm gonna help Israel accomplish their operation in Palestine. That's what they did. Joe Biden blocked a ceasefire, a UN ceasefire, 5 times, and then once Israel signaled to the United States that they finished their operation, their land grab that they do every time they launch another offensive, Joe Biden like, okay, let's do a ceasefire. Israel did a ceasefire, and then they help him with PR. That's what they always do. Same thing Donald Trump did, Biden did. So why are you mad? So that's why they attack him over stupid shit.
Like, somebody had, Like somebody had told me, like, oh, I can't. I was like, Biden is worse than Trump. He was like, no, he's not. Blah blah. I'm like, bro, compare their records. It's like I can't do that because Trump don't have a political record. You fucking idiot, right? He don't have a real political record to go off of. So even if, like, okay, yes, he do. The 4 years that he was in office. Let's compare those to the fucking 50 years that Joe Biden was in office. Let's compare the worst bills in their record. And I'm telling you, Biden is the worst all around. 2 million Iraqis dead. 3 generations of black people locked up. Like there's if I was a racist white man doing Trump versus Biden, look, I would have been out there like, yeah. And that's why a lot of these social Dems, I'm telling you, they closet racist. They closet racist. They know that this nigga Joe Biden is racist. And no matter how many times we told them that, hey, look at my neighborhood. Like I had to really tell people, like, look, this man, he helped destroy Detroit, sent off jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. And they just like, oh, well, get over it. That was so long ago. People change. People change to what? Worse people or better people? Because I ain't see no change in this nigga. All I see is him grow worse. So I don't know, but they think if you know what I'm saying, if they was to get like they give certain black people this spotlight, like Nick was saying earlier. As long as you tap dance and singing that song, it doesn't matter if you are conservative or you are left leaning or left. White people are gonna uplift you if you are singing their song. They're gonna defend you if you are singing their song. But it's a difference in between the fighter white people and, you know what I'm saying, the on the fence white people. Because once you start moving to the left, some white people be like, oh, no, that's too left. But a lot of fighter white people's, you know what I'm saying, they be like, all right, we can do this. Like, I understand where you're coming from. They actually listening to black leftists. You know what I'm saying? But they want, it's a lot of closet racists out there that want
those are the same people. I know you talking.
Those sing that song.
I know you talking about. Those are the same people that will smear Fred Hampton for being tanky, and those are the same people who, like Sabrina brought up all the time on her show, that will say, "Oh, yeah, reparations sounds like a good idea, but it's not popular. So I think we should focus on helping Democrats win instead of advocating for the black community. We don't want to turn out the suburban whites, guys." The progressives
why do I have to appeal to suburban whites to get police out of black neighborhoods? All I have to do is go in black neighborhoods, which you don't. And I know because I canvass for these parties. They don't go in black neighborhoods. They just feel like they have their vote on lock. They send us out to white neighborhoods. But all you have to do is go talk to black people. How you feel about the police for real?
Mm-hmm.
Show them the budget compared to the schooling budget, and then ask them how do they feel about the police getting that much money. Show them the crime rate and show them how many people that commit crimes that the police actually catch. And we live in the hood. We know all of us should be locked up. All of us should be locked up right now.
Well, another thing too is that when they do decide to fix the neighborhoods, my family's from Baltimore, so I've seen this happen there. I've seen it happen in DC, and it's happening in Boston right now. When they do decide to fix and improve the neighborhoods, they increase the rent so high that Black people who live there and have lived there all their lives are pushed further out. So they don't get to reap the benefits of the new, gentrified neighborhood. Yeah. And I can go on all day about gentrification, but again, the system is still designed to keep Black people at the bottom. And I wish more people could see that. I mean, what has Joe Biden done to try to reverse the effects of the crime bill? Has he tried to pardon all those people who are in jail because of his crime bill for marijuana that have been in there for years? No.
Well, so I'm glad he brought that up as well, because, and I wanted to mention the reparation things, because the main issue that a lot of the white leftists don't understand, that it makes black leftists look at you side eye. That you care about other issues, you put other people communities ahead of ours. And I stand solidarity with all the communities. I have very strict litmus tests. That's why I always go after politicians. That's why I have a show and I spend time speaking on as many issues as I can. I stand for the Palestinian people. I stand for immigrants, indigenous people. I try to fight for trans. I mean, as many different topics as possible. But when I look at what a lot of white progressives and liberals and the Democrat Party and what they focus on, and this is what I talked to CJ about. If you ask a standard Democratic Party voter, if you ask someone who is like a TYT viewer, right? If you ask them, will you vote for a candidate that is openly homophobic? Will you vote for a candidate that is against gay marriage? And my answer to that is no. And their answer to that question is no. And that's good. Mm-hmm. But why is the answer to that question for you no, but you will vote for a Zionist who is complicit with funding an apartheid state? So the crimes done against the gay community is like, okay, that's too far, but a crimes done against the Palestinian peoples, oh, not a big deal. Do you support reparations? Oh, that's not a big deal if you don't support reparations. But if you're not for equal pay, that's like, then that's too far. Why? Like, my thing is, I am for all those things. I don't want you guys better not smear me for saying this. I'm saying I'm for all these things, but why do you guys draw the line of saying for some things, but then you guys just cut our community out? That's my question.
I swear, this is the reason. It's not only why, the black community has a homophobic problem. We know this, but one of the reasons, like, it's like some petty ass back and forth with y'all. Oh, y'all don't fight for us. 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 And now, like, it's like, oh yeah, every time black people look up, everybody else getting something. Even Asian people, everybody is getting something, and it might not even be much, man. But you talk to these people, they got nothing. They have got nothing from the government. So every time when they look up and they see that you got crumbs, they're like, damn, I wanted some crumbs too. Like, man, fuck y'all niggas. But then it's so fucked up that we don't look at the big picture. You know what I'm saying? They taking all that hate that they even have against gay people, trans people, and just bubbling all that shit up and just exploding it out. But at a certain point, everybody has a point, because sometimes nobody really fight for black rights, like, for real. Like, you might say, like, a lot of I notice white liberals say, listen to gay black women and stuff like that, like, but they don't like, you know what I'm saying, or listen to black women when it's
they always say that if
they always their narrative. But when it's black people, when it's black women say, hey, we want reparations, we want to overthrow the government. Hey, whoa. Not that black woman.
Not her.
Like, yeah,
yo, let me ask y'all this. You guys ever have, especially in school, the whole crabs in the bucket analogy? Especially in black schools, this was told all the time. Oh, you guys can't be crabs in a bucket, always pulling each other down. Black people can sometimes be crabs in a bucket, pulling each other down and trying to get out. I'm going to lay something out for everybody, especially my black people. That bucket is capitalism. That is what making us all crabs in one bucket, and then we have to pull each other down just to do it. Instead, why don't we just bust the bucket out? The crabs in the barrel out. Just bust it open. And then everybody can spread out instead. Because this whole crabs in a bucket and trying to make one up over one another is stupid. And, a lot of times it's based on, for instance, I am practically, an identity politics dream. Okay. I'm black, I'm gay, I'm disabled. If I were a trans female, I would win the lottery. And so they look at people like me, and if I say the right things, oh, great, you're good. But if I say anything remotely what I've been saying for the last an hour and 15 minutes, they want to shut me up. And so the thing is that it's only as good as the loyalty to capitalism. And if it's complete utter loyalty, then they're with you. But if you want something that gives equality to all of us, they're trying to shut you up. This is why they don't like me. They don't like people like Sabrina, Rome, or Nick, or anybody else, because we're speaking the truth and they cannot hide behind our identity.
Well said, JB. Well said. I send you a video. I want you to get ready to boot this video up. I appreciate anyone who's watching. I have a few stories to cover, and I want to get to this next one because I was actually talking to Ron Pacone, and he brought up an interesting topic to me, and it's something that I talked about for quite a while. It's like the media. We know the media is bad. Like Rome said, he haven't watched CNN in years, and I don't watch it, and I don't take it seriously at all because it's insane propaganda. And I'll let you know when I'm ready to play the video, JB. I want to do. I'm gonna set this up first, but I'm glad you got ready. I'll let you know 1 second here. And we just did a segment discussing how Joe Biden is just like Donald Trump, right? And we gave you guys plenty of examples where you guys should not be like, "Oh, I can't believe you guys saying happy birthday, bro." We gave you guys a lot of examples. I don't want to hear it. The difference between Biden and Trump is you literally have the media who won't actually go after Biden, and it was really adversarial toward Trump. You have a lot of people in the media even acknowledge that. They even acknowledge the fact that they're like, okay, we was tougher on Trump because we had a grudge against him for going after the media. They admit this in interviews afterwards, after Donald Trump. I forgot the name. What's the guy who he's a big famous CNN guy, Jim Acosta. Jim Acosta. He actually admitted in an interview shortly after Joe Biden got in charge, he said, there's no reason for us to go after the Biden administration because the Biden administration, they don't lie as much as Trump. We covered why that's a lie. They said they were not actively hostile against the media like Donald Trump was. So he just admitted that the reason why they went after Trump was because Trump hurt their little feelings. Trump hurt their feelings. So
fake news.
That hurt their feelings.
Man, that shit sucked because it was true. It was fucking true. At a certain point, that's at a certain point. That's when Trump was reaching over. That's why he have a 12% of black, you know what I'm saying, black voters. Like that, you might not think that's a big fucking number, but think about it, man. We're only 12% of this fucking population. For him to have even 12% of black voters, that's fucking crazy. But that's when he started reaching over. Because people, young people, black people that was in their 30s, 40s, they saw that shit. It was like, yeah, man, I'm tired of Democrats. He keeping it real. Yeah, NAFTA deal, NAFTA. And even after he said, what do you have to lose? A lot of niggas in the hood was like, what? Shit, man, I hate that he was right.
Yeah, so what I always say is that Joe Biden, just like Trump, that's why I never had Trump derangement syndrome. The difference is the media does not cover for, they didn't cover for Donald Trump. They covered for all politicians before. They covered Barack Obama and he's a extreme narcissist too. A extreme liar. Joe Biden, extreme liar. They cover for him. Now, Jeb, you can get the clip ready. Because look at this interview that Brian Stelter had to Jen Psaki, who is Biden's mouthpiece. You talking to the lady who is literally the mouthpiece of the most powerful person in the world, period. And what do you ask him? I'll play the video and then I want anyone to comment on it. I'm not going to spoil it too much, but this is ridiculous. Play the video. Let's see if we can get through this. It's going to be
what might lie ahead. Jen, thanks for coming on Reliable Sources.
My pleasure.
Busy summer ahead, infrastructure, election reform. What does the press get wrong when covering Biden's agenda. When you watch the news, when you read the news, what do you think we get wrong?
Wait,
Well,
pause,
look,
pause,
I
pause.
think
Sorry,
some of our
James.
muscles
Pause,
have
pause. Hold
atrophied
up.
a little bit over the
I
last.
told you guys it's going to be hard for me to get through this whole video. I'm going to try to get through it. But you see that? You see the framing of that question? What does the media get wrong about reporting on the Biden agenda? When has anyone asked Donald Trump, like, have you seen anyone in the media ask Sarah Huckabee Sanders, oh, what do you think the media get wrong about Donald Trump? Like, what? You literally asking them, like, oh, are we being too hard on you? Are we being too tough on you? How can we frame your narrative, which we already do? We already frame your narrative for you, but how can we do it better? Sorry, you can let anyone got any thoughts before we let the video play? Because I'm not trying to interrupt it too much. But
I got some
that's like
motherfucking thoughts, man. Look at this nigga hair, bro. Get that shit up, man. Why do niggas hate? This how stubborn men are. You bald. You are clean bald at the top. Just give it up. You probably look better as a bald head. That's my fucking thought. Go back to the picture for me. I'm about to fry her ass too. Go back to the picture for me, bro. Look at her. Man, bro. First of all, your ends is all split. You need a new hairdresser. They try to hide your forehead, but they ain't do that right. Your top, but yeah, this nigga, yeah, he'll look better bald. She ugly. She ugly, period, because she's just a liar. I hate to know her in real life because she type to watch. You can watch her dog take a shit in your yard and be like, hey, your dog just took a shit in my dog would never. That's the type of lady she is. But yeah, this nigga, he need to cut that shit, bro. And that tie techie. That shirt, that whole get up. Oh man, these niggas, bro. Yeah, what is we talking about here? I had stepped out.
So anyone else got anything that has like we always gotta have a Rome roast session. Like it's not an FHO podcast.
I'm just saying, bro.
It won't have Rome roasting at least one person.
I've been cutting hair for 15 years and never in my life, like I didn't women, best customers. Man, like him, I'll come in, I'll be like, oh, you want a ball? Oh no, just trim it down on the side. Trim it down on the sides, nigga, really? Man, I'm talking your ass extra, bitch.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say, Sabrina? Because we got fancy clips, but I think that's a very important part to stop because that will flag me. That question is insane to ask someone like she is the mouthpiece of the most powerful man in the world, and your question is, how can we do better covering you? What can we do? How can we be more pro Biden than they already are? They already are, but apparently. Go ahead, play the clip. Listen to Jeremy Pasaki's response. I want you guys to listen to this.
Last few years, and there isn't a lot of memory or recent memory or longer memory on how long it takes to get legislation forward or how messy the process of negotiating and the process of getting legislation across the finish line can be. So we understand everybody's always looking for a deadline, a timeline, things like that. But at the end of the day, our focus is on getting these bills across the finish line, doing it in a bipartisan way if we can. And we certainly recognize that can be messy along the process. So I don't know if that's the press getting it wrong. I'll leave you to the critique of that, Brian. But I think sometimes we forget how strange the last 4 years were. And when we return to a place where democracy is working, where we're talking with Democrats and Republicans.
Sorry. JB, go. Oh, my God. I should let finish. Let finish. Like this, there's so much wrong here. There is so much wrong. There is so much wrong here. No, let the video
bills
finish.
and legislation passed. It feels foreign, but this is actually how it's supposed to work.
There are times in your briefings where you seem so comfortable. Then there's times where you seem frustrated by the lines of questions.
Bipartisan with who?
Okay, that's the end of the clip. Okay, go back to the JB. That's like when I tell you guys that the United States is the most propagandized country in the world, period. This is what I mean. You have someone who is on primetime television, someone who get paid millions and millions of dollars, interviewing the mouthpiece of the most powerful man, and they're asking, "What can we do better for you?" And then her response to him is, "Oh, we have a lot of excuses why we can't get our agenda done, even though we rule all the government." And you understand that the Biden administration have been giving you guys excuses that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So when they said they're not going to include the public option in their budget, you know the excuse they gave you? They're not even trying because they know the media is not going to challenge. They said, "Oh, we can't do the public option right now. We're going to wait till later." What? How does that make sense? If you are going to get a public option, now is the time. You're going to get it after 2022? You're going to risk seats? What if you lose the seats? When is the better time? You got this chance to do reconciliation.
That is the plan, nigga. And we know this because we saw this with Barack Obama when he lost 1,000-some seats after he didn't get anything done but bailing out Wall Street and bailing out every corporation that he can fucking put his fucking hands, get his hands on in the cookie jar of that corporation. Like I was explaining to people even back then when Barack Obama was running, I had conservatives telling me, "Look up Obama, look up this and that, blah blah blah. He's getting more funding than John McCain." I'm like, what? Oh shit! The military-industrial complex is giving Barack Obama more fucking money than John McCain. Yes. And now look.
Yeah.
Look how much money he didn't gave the fucking military. Look, he gave military weapons to the police. Now look, this is, and you know what? I don't even feel sorry for y'all niggas no more, bro. Like I don't even know what to say now, because sometimes when people complain about shit in person to me and shit like that, like they always hit me with that, "Who you vote for?" and this and that, blah blah blah. Same people, I turn that shit back around. Every time they sit here and complain and shit, "Oh, Rome, what are we gonna do about this and that?" Because I'm the only one that's really political, politically involved in shit, like in my peers. So I'm like, nigga, who you vote for? Ask them, bitch. Don't ask me.
One of the things
Allegedly.
I wanted to give you guys a little introduction. Introducing the White House, it's going to be introducing the new White House Assistant Press Secretary, Mr. Koldak Sack himself, Brian Selter. Think about every single time you watch mainstream media, they are the press secretaries of the government. They are always going to be the press secretaries of them. They're always going to hold water for them, carry water for them. I'm sorry. They're always going to be the ones who are basically telling you that what they're doing is okay. I don't care if it's Fox. I don't care if it's One American News Network. I don't care if it's MSNBC. I don't care if it's New York Times, ABC, NBC, CBS. It doesn't matter. Thing is that you got a bunch of millionaires telling you what to think and what to believe, and then they're being paid by a bunch of billionaires. And the billionaires are also on the other side giving money to the politicians just so that they can have what they want done. So everything is basically against you. Yes, you. So the thing is people keep talking about, "Oh, well, Biden's going to be doing all this nice stuff." And then when we say that he's not, then they want to say, "Oh, but it's only been 5 months." And it's like, yeah, he had 100 days to get the shit done and he hasn't gotten it done. So therefore, guess what? It's not going to get done. And he never wanted it to get done.
I wish.
Yo, let me ask, Sabrina, let me ask you this real quick. Sabrina and Rome. Okay, Bow, if Biden was what the right accused him, and by the way, that's a whole game that they're playing too. They actually don't really accuse Biden of that. They just want to gem up the base. But anyways, if Biden was actually what they accused him of being, how would y'all feel? Let's start out with Sabrina.
I mean, it's just her response didn't make any sense because you have all three, you have the House, the Senate, you have the presidency. And when Joe Biden was running, what did they say? Like every time during the debates, what did the media say? What did the moderators say? What did he say on the stage? Is that he was the only one on the stage that had more experience working across the aisle and he could get those things done. Doesn't seem to be working out too well. How's that working out for Joe Biden right now? Him working across the aisle. And so I think it's just they're coming up with excuses. Like they're blaming everybody but theirself. They're blaming Joe Manchin. They're blaming Kristen Sinema. Um, they're blaming like legislation taking too long. Like this stuff just doesn't make any sense. When Trump came into office, he got things done on day one. Day one. Look at all the things that he did, like immediately. So when people say, "Oh, well, Joe Biden's only been in office a couple of months," I don't care. I don't buy it because when Trump came in office, he did things right away.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like we were saying beforehand. Now, I'm sorry, I'll let you finish your thoughts, Sabrina. We were saying beforehand that if Biden's going to do anything, it will be his first 2 years because he has control of the government. The fact that he could use all these tools to advance his agenda, he has ways to get these things passed, and this is your only chance to get it done. And so the idea that we actually gonna do this later. We can't do cancel the student loan debt. We're gonna do that later. That doesn't make sense. You can just do it right now with executive order. They said, you know, and I want to get your thoughts on this, Brenda, because I didn't mean to cut you off. They was asked about decriminalizing marijuana, and they said, we were too busy implementing our agenda to end the new Jim Crow. Like that doesn't make sense. And then the media is so complicit with Joe Biden, they don't push back. I got something I'm going to share after y'all get your thoughts on this, but they will just say stuff like, we can't decriminalize marijuana because we're too busy. Where's the pushback? There's no pushback. We have state TV. CNN and MSNBC is state TV. I'll allow you finish your thoughts, Sabrina. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, the thing is, they don't want it. They don't want these things to pass. That's what I want people to realize. They don't want these things to pass. They're going to delay them so that when 2022 comes around and the Republicans take back the House and the Senate, then they'll be able to use the excuse, let's bring it up again now and bring it to a floor vote. Then they'll be able to use the excuse of, we couldn't get it done because we didn't have the House or the Senate. That's their plan, in my opinion. They don't have any intention on these things actually passing, and that's why they continue to delay them. Did you guys know with the marijuana, this is important. Did you guys know that one of the activists that works with transparency in the Massachusetts State House, she told me about this. Oftentimes when they say that a bill is sent to a study, there's no actual study happening. That is a place where bills go to die. Mm-hmm. And so when Joe Biden was saying, when he was running and he said that, in reference to marijuana, decriminalizing marijuana, we need to study that. We need to research that. That means it's not going to happen. That's a no. That's just another way of saying it to disguise it, to make it seem like he's actually going to look into it, but he's not.
Right, because I'm doing a study on marijuana right now, and I mean, this strain all right.
I have something
bad about it.
I have something I want to share with you guys because it ties into what the discussion is now. I'm talking about the horrific media complicity with Joe Biden, and they are helping Joe Biden. I had to make an adjustment here. They're helping him sell to the American people why they are not passing their agenda. I was going to share this with you guys. We were talking about Biden propaganda. And this story I covered before, but actually it's really hilarious because it's so bad. And people wonder why I'm critical of the squad. I'm critical of the squad and Bernie because they help this stuff. They help them write these stories. Health insurance public option might be fizzling. The left is okay with that. Rome, are you okay with that? Sabrina, are you okay with this? What? Who are they talking about?
Who the fuck told them that?
And then if you look in the article, it's pretty much the people, the frauds in the progressive caucus. The people who, if you're anywhere left of center, you should be going to war with these. Look at this, how bad the media is. How is Tim Kaine anywhere near this article? What? And what? This is manufacturing consent of the highest. Like, how is Tim Kaine considered a progressive? How is this? How is he part of this article at all? Right?
Tim Kaine can't even go left, even if he was doing the cha-cha slide.
And once again, this is the narrative that comes out from Democrats that the media is helping them plant. He said there's a million things going on right now, and this is their excuse for why that Biden can't get the public option. And you have a lot of these officials that are being quoted here. Tim Kaine is actually one of them. Like the officials that are being quoted in the story, they support a public option. And then they were giving an excuse to the media, like, yeah, we support a public option, but we are not upset at Joe Biden for not pursuing a public option because he is doing so much already for the country. You know, he signed the American Recovery. No, I am dead serious. This is what they are telling the media, and this is what the media is running with.
So
And then you have white progressives that are like, yo, you know, Joe Biden is actually better than I thought he was. I can't believe that Joe Biden is actually like Noam Chomsky. Noam Chomsky said that Biden is doing better than Noam Chomsky is like, yo, Biden's actually governing further to the left than I thought he would. Like, what? You guys are getting tricked, and the political discourse is so dumb right now. And that's why we have our show. And that's why people are realizing there have been people that told me, like, yo, I thought you was being too hyperbolic when you said Joe Biden was like Trump, and I unfollowed you. But now I'm like, oh, I actually subscribe to Hampton Leftist now because I seen you was right. I don't brag about it on timeline, but if you watch my show, I brag about it. But the reason why we grow is because people will smear me at first, but I was right. Like we are proven right. I don't want to be right. Like I wish the squad and Bernie fought. Like I wish Joe Biden could be dragged to the left. I wish that he actually had a black agenda. Like these are the things I wanted to happen. But I'm not gonna lie to you. And then when people was asking me why I was gonna vote for Joe Biden, I'm not gonna tell them. I'm not gonna tell you the same bullshit you heard from the majority report, that you heard from TYT, that you heard from what a lot of popular people was like. Okay, Joe Biden left two evils. Oh, we can push it to the left. That's not gonna happen. You're an idiot if you thought that Tony Blinken was gonna move to the left on the issue of Israel-Palestine. They said from the very beginning that they was gonna join the UN Human Rights Council to protect Israel. Mm-hmm. Did they cover that on their show? No, I did. I covered it. People didn't watch. Now people was like, okay, I get where you're coming from now.
Hey, Nick, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. What happened with Ice Cube and the whole contract with Black America? What happened?
They was mad at Ice Cube, and Ice Cube was right. I think Sabrina, I think I saw you cover. I don't want to get it wrong, but I think I saw you. I know Nico covered it for sure, and we was like, and pretty much all black leftists, when they covered the issue, we was like, he's right. Like, why would we vote for Joe Biden without asking for anything? Meanwhile, if you look at the liberal response, the white American response to that, it was like, Ice Cube is hitting MAGA. I saw it. You even have black liberals that was like, Ice Cube is hitting MAGA. Ice Cube is just a rich, out-of-touch black man. I would say, yo, I don't like celebrities, but he said we should ask for something for our community. That's right. Yeah. And they were trying to use that classified. They were trying to attack him for his class, for advocating for our community. You see what they do?
That's the only reason why I was pushing for it, because that was the same shit that I was basically telling motherfuckers, like, don't vote for these people until you get something. Like, hold your vote accountable, get something, and then vote for them. Like, they will have you to believe that they can't get anything done until this one person get in power. But that's bullshit, because he knows somebody that knows somebody. And if they want something done, it can't be done. All you got to do is push. And all you got to do is make sure that your community is thinking as one, so you guys can have some type of union-based organization, have a couple of people speaking for, you know what I'm saying, you're going to take this vote on it, if you're going to vote or not, you know what I'm saying, if this is good or not, to what has been done for your community. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he was right about everything, but Democrats, they took it as, hey, they took it and said, oh, well, he's getting this from the Republicans, and he's getting that, and blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, well, they actually giving a black man something? Well, it seemed like, shit, maybe I should vote Republican then, because he's actually getting something out of his deal then. Motherfuckers, listen to what you're saying. What did you get out of your vote? What did you get out of anything?
I see these same people complaining now. I don't want to cut you off, Ron, but the same people that I saw attacking the Ice Cube, they complain now. Like, yo, they were like, why Biden not doing anything for us? Like, bro, we was warning you. Like, there was a section of black leftists that's, I don't know where Cube stand politically, but he was one of the people that were advocating for a black agenda before the vote. I think, do you want to add anything to this, Sabrina, before I get back to the main topic?
Yeah, I was going to say something about Chomsky. One thing I do want to remind people, although I do like some of the things that Chomsky has said in the past, new Chomsky, I'm not a fan of. Okay. So, but one thing I want to remind people is that Chomsky, even though he spoke out against like capitalism, at the end of the day, he is still a part of the academic elite. And I work with people like that. I work with faculty and I know how they are. And so he's going to compliment Joe Biden because he's a part of the same class. And so that goes back to what Nick was saying earlier about the wealth in this country and the class system. At the end of the day, usually people who have money back other people who have money.
Yeah, that's a legitimate criticism by Vancouver. My only problem with Ice Cube is not him saying anything until after the primary. Bro, you guys know how I am. I don't worship anyone. I will give him credit for being right there, but I do think there's a lot of people that talking big now that you had a chance to support these policies. Like there are people that talk big on reparations. They say they support reparations, but the only way we can make it electorally viable is by propping up a third party that support it, because that sends the message that if, for example, if you have Green Party hit 5%, and then you have vast majority of black people that support the Green Party, that shows like, okay, there's a political will for reparations. Yeah. So I'm asking for you guys to advocate for it and put for it in any avenue that you have, right? That's what I want people to keep in mind. That's what I want them to actually do, like advocate reparations on a local level, like elect local politicians and fight for local politicians that support it. Stop fighting for the Democrat Party that don't give a fuck about reparations. Like you had candidates that were supporting reparations, but you guys didn't give a fuck. Like I had a lot of issues with Marianne Williamson, but literally she talked about it. But you guys smeared her as the cuckoo lady. Once again, I got issues with her because she has some issues on foreign policy. But she was good on reparations. But where was the love there? I'm not even asking you to vote for her. But you guys going for Jim Crow Joe instead? You know, we had a candidate, a female black VP that was for reparations. Where was the love? Where was the love? I'm not even saying that electoral politics is the road to reparations. All I'm saying is I'm willing to do whatever it takes to raise awareness and back it whenever I got a chance to. And I want other people to do that. And I want to make one last point to get back to the original topic, because we got 15 minutes, and I want to give everyone a chance to plug what their upcoming events are soon. So I want to wrap up this last topic on Biden media complicity, because we talking about press secretaries, and Rome actually brought up a good point. He's like, I think it was Rome. He said, like, you have CNN, all these people are the press secretaries of the president. Maybe JB said that, but that's true. Like, you had the media that covered for them, and this is why I said I'm glad this tweet went viral when I sent it, because I said why is press secretaries even a thing? Mm-hmm. Like, press secretaries should not be a thing. Like, if you're a public official, especially if you're as powerful as the president, you should face the press. Why are you sending a representative? Like, something to me, like, even the aesthetic of that rubs me wrong. Because thinking about the aesthetic of that, it's always a younger woman who takes the media blows lying on behalf of a powerful, rich white man. Mm-hmm. You guys know that you guys don't see me really snipe at Jen Psaki. I don't snipe at Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I don't even know what the other woman was, the last Trump press secretaries, because they are lying on behalf of their oligarch. So what they're doing, the strategy is they want you to deflect. Like, it can be fun to roast them maybe once in a while, but you realize that Sarah Huckabee Sanders, she's lying to the media. Jen Psaki, she is lying to the media. She is doing that on behalf of a rich, powerful white man in the U.S. empire. So instead of focusing on them so much, and once again, I think a lot of people would disagree with me on this, but instead of focusing so much on Jen Psaki, instead of focusing so much on Sarah Huckabee Sanders, how about we focus on the person that sent them to lie on behalf of the U.S. empire in the first place? So my position is their job shouldn't exist. So instead of deflecting the criticism that the United States president should be getting, you'd be like, everyone would be like, oh, look at Sarah Huckabee Sanders, she's a dumbass. Oh, look at Jen Psaki, she's a liar. No, her boss is a dumbass, and her boss is a liar. Not covering for them, but what are your guys' thoughts on that? Because that's the point I think is very important.
Who would you like to go first?
JB, you go first. You talked.
Okay. Right.
We about to wrap up here soon anyway, because we got about 15 minutes anyway. I definitely just want to make that last point.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. They shouldn't, really have press secretaries. They should be able to face the fire themselves. And so But at the same time, the media is complicit anyway, and so a lot of times they're gonna probably throw probably more softball questions. I honestly think they should have more adversarial media to
Yeah.
go after them, because if they can't take the heat, and they need to get out, because truth be told, uh, the media, a media, you know, is supposed to be there to be adversarial, to get questions for the American people, to hold their feet to the fire. And if you notice, there's a lot of foreign media. They'll go even harder than our own. And so we need to have something like that. And uh, I think this is one of the reasons why independent media needs to grow. And this is one of the reasons why I'm happy that more people are supporting independent media.
What's that? What's your thoughts, Ron? You got anything you want to add?
Shit, man. I just wanted to say I hope Jeff Bezos don't have a big trip home. But yeah, man. Like JB was saying, I want to talk about independent news and shit like that, cause yeah, man, like you gonna feel the iron fist on you, like when you out here you preaching the truth, no matter what it is. Like these people is really gonna be against you. Like if you were, no matter how big or small you are, you know what I'm saying, they are against you, man. And if you was to get too big, you know, they're gonna try to silence you. So that's why it's important for not just to support, independent news, but support that local activists in your neighborhood. Support, you know what I'm saying, people that's going out and speaking up for injustice and civil rights. Because man, it's gonna get tougher and tougher with all these laws that they're passing. It's bad enough we still didn't repeal the Patriot Act. I don't see that ever happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. We really, like I said, we all we got, nigga. We all we got, and yeah, we gonna have to really take advantage of this, and really grow relationships in certain communities, in different communities, in order to get anything done for each other, or try to grow some power, or try to make it look like we know what the fuck we doing at least. But yeah, man, we gotta support each other, no matter how big or small the person is. That's all I'm gonna say.
There's a good comment. Good friend of the show, Gene. He says, or they say, these people are millionaires. They literally do not think about us. We are practically invisible to them. And people can laugh all they want, but that's why I call myself a citizen journalist. That's how I got started, because when I was canvassing, I was using electoral politics as a tool to tell the stories of our community. I was going to South Carolina. I was talking to the black community. Why don't CNN have programs where they send Anderson Cooper to communities and ask them what is going on with you? What is the government not doing for you? They never run those segments. They bring on a CIA former officer, ask him what's going on in politics. They bring on the CEO of Wells Fargo. They'll bring on a weapon manufacturer. They actually bring on mercenaries, legit. What's the lady who was Trump? Betsy DeVos. Her brother was a mercenary for Blackwater, and then Fox News invited him on. And bro, this guy is responsible for crimes against humanity, and the media will have him on. And they don't talk to real people. They're talking to the ops of these complexes. When I say complexes, I mean the prison industrial complex, the military industrial complex, the Wall Street complex. So it's not when you watch CNN, MSNBC, and now even progressive media like TYT, and even Majority Report, and look at the people they have on. The same people. They gotta have Ivy League education. Ivy League education, for the most part, is trash, because when you go to Harvard, that means you just master propaganda. And there are exceptions to that rule, but a Harvard degree means you just really well trained in Western propaganda. That's why Harvard is filled with Zionists. You had Dr. Cornel West, who couldn't get tenure because he was standing for the Palestinian people. So those are Ivy League education. It does not mean you're smart. It means you kowtow and you actually good at repeating propaganda. Once again, there are some exceptions, but that's generally the rule. This is where all the ruling class assholes come from. Matt Gaetz come from Ivy League. You think Matt Gaetz is smart? Like, you think Matt Gaetz is a smart person? How did he get Ivy League? Donald Trump was Ivy League. You think Donald Trump is smart? Like, get real. It's a class war waged by the media. When you see the media back up Joe Biden, when you see the media goes against stimulus checks, you had the media that were running propaganda against $2,000 stimulus checks. There's a class war waged by the media because the media come from upper class not even academia, but upper class in general. Like Rome said, they come from generational wealth. So when they repeat the news, they repeat the news from a class conscious basis. And when I say class conscious, I mean from the ruling class fighting against the working class. Because I tell people all the time, they class conscious. You need to start being class consciousness. Like, they waging a war. We need to start waging a class war. Like, we don't stand a chance because we can't even defend ourselves because y'all don't even know there's a class war. You guys are fighting for Joe Biden. You guys are in relationships for Joe Biden. You don't even know there's a class war. That's why we have our show. And now we got 10 minutes in. I'll wrap up here. And you guys get your final thoughts based on what I said or whatever. But I'll pass it to you guys for one and give you guys your final thoughts. We can wrap up on this live stream. I appreciate everyone for the support. A lot of people have been asking about how you support. And I've been just telling people, support Rome on Tour de Poor. If you have a favorite show, like if you like Nerdologist, if you like Jackie's show, support Jackie. Like if you like JB, if you tune in every Sunday for the JB Font Show, donate to his Cash App. Like, this is until we get some like super chats, and as we continue to grow, you got more mechanism. And if you want like more the links, we got our website, Hampton Leftist, FredHamptonLeftist.com. You can find our individual links. I'm not even asking you guys to donate to me. Like, if you like RJ, if you like Revolutionary Jargon, if you like Sabrina's show, donate to her. Like, this is, for now, this is how you support us. But for now, I'll start with JB. You go first. I'll give you a final word and anything you want to plug before you wrap up here.
Yeah. So, one of the things I want to say is I am deeply grateful for all of you in the comments. I may have not been able to get to all of you, but I do appreciate every single one of you. One of the things that we realize is that there has to be solidarity among all of us. You all are the power that we need in order to make change. If I try to move something with just my pinky, I'm not going to be able to move much. The more fingers you add, the stronger you are. A lot of people know this analogy. The more of us there is, the more strength that we have. This is something that people like Afeni and Rome have been advocating on the ground. This is what all of us at Fred Hampton Leftists have been advocating for quite a while. And the thing is that there's always something that we can do, even if we can't get our feet on the ground out there. There's something that we can do in order to push this truth that we deserve better. So I want to encourage all of you to do whatever you can. Like, for instance, Nick was saying that he'll give some boxing lessons or something, for free. That's his version, of mutual aid.
I do it
Mutual
all the
aid,
time.
yeah. I mean, mutual and giving mutual aid can just be. I know it sounds small, but just DMing somebody and saying, "I know you're going through a lot, but just realize that we're here with you." Just something like that. Mutual aid, not just in material, but also mutual aid in moral support. That also helps. And do better for people. Make the world better. Leave the world better than you found it. That's my motto. And if you do that, then the world will be a better place. On Kamali Rose will be on my show on Sunday. Uh,
Nice.
and I'll also be doing a special primetime episode of FHL on Sunday at 7 p.m. We're going to have Michael Tenevasa, also known as non-voting felon, back on. We didn't have enough time because he came on a little bit late, but we're going to finish up and go over a few more things. So stay tuned for that.
Sabby, you got anything?
Oh,
Oh yeah,
just
sorry.
Pat.
I about to say I know people was asking. I was muted, but I know some people were asking about Rockin'. I saw you mention that you was on Rockin', Sabrina. Just
Mhm.
so I want you to talk about that a little bit. And I know you had a great interview with Nico. Like plug wherever you want and where people can find you.
Yep, definitely. So you can find me on Rockfin, Sabby Sabs. It's the same name as my YouTube channel. I highly recommend if you're not on Rockfin to subscribe and join because we have more freedom of what we can say on Rockfin versus YouTube. Rockfin doesn't pull my videos. And then, other than that, I am going to start uploading videos to FHL hopefully Saturday. I do have to get my second vaccine tomorrow. So I'm, I'm hoping I'm okay after that and can get that going. But other than that, definitely check out the video I did with Nico yesterday. That interview on my channel, Sabby Sabs, that was pretty lit. So check that out.
All right, awesome. Like I said, I've been one of the best ways you can support us because we are not just a network. We want to focus on mutual aid and helping our community, and that's what our friend Rome. That's his focus. So when you ask me like, how can I support you? Like you should be on Rofkin, Super Chats. Like we know we're working on it, but for now, like support Rome's mutual aid effort. Tell them a little more about that, Rome. Where can they support you, and what are you doing over the next week or so?
Shit. I'll be in Seattle on the 1st, but the event is gonna be on the 4th. I'll be downtown Seattle, just passing out clothes, food, whatever I can to help people. Probably gonna be giving a speech. Hopefully if everything goes right, I'm gonna be doing 2 locations in that city. And if I can get some money right, hopefully I can hit DC. Then I'm gonna be doing North Cal to South Cal to New Mexico. And if you want to contribute, like I got a website that's coming up where you can find me, track me down, probably at a fucking like literally probably track me down as long as I'm outside. But you can come and help me and stuff like that. And you can donate to my PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, whatever, or if you can meet me in person and give me clothes, food, whatever, that'll be fucking way better because spending all this money is gonna be a bitch on my taxes. That's why I'm probably not even gonna file this year, but fuck it.
So once again, I want to thank you guys for watching. As for me, like I said, check out my video with CJ. In our panel we had this Tuesday. I usually like to have Black Leftist Roundtable for Black Liberation Politics. For now, we will have my good friend Savion. He's really good at Black history. So hopefully we'll be discussing the history of our revolutionary leaders. And also I will be joined by another powerful comrade, Black Bernie Babe. And one of my focuses, I want to platform as much as many Black female leftists as possible. I love that. Like once again, we have Finny on. We're gonna have her as a regular guest pretty often. You just see her a lot more of her. And once again, the point of FHL is like I want to share. Like I've been blessed with a platform, so I want to spread it to as many Black leftists as possible. That's what we want to do here. So continue to help us grow, so we can help the Black left grow. That's what we want to do. Anyway, this is Nick, Social Cinema. We upload every day. Revolutionary Jargon with RJ will be tomorrow. So check us out and keep our eye for the inbox. This is Fred Hampton Leftist. James, you can sign us out.
Take care, everybody.